so I've just gone through to my personnel area and I've just mocked up this, I've put together this dashboard off an existing personnel model. If you're modeling personnel at the moment, these models are relatively standard, so it should look similar to what you've got. If we look along the top, I've got my key metrics, which I'm interested in. Again, I'm chasing that EBIT number, so I'm going to look at that. Remuneration, I can see that that's quite a key expense for me, so I've got 1.18 million in that. Benefits, so I'm planning for some benefits here. I'm planning for bonuses and salary increases as well. And I'm planning for some new hires. So in terms of getting that down, I guess, you know, there's a number of things that we can do just looking at these numbers. I'll just explain the dashboard a bit more. Here I'm looking at my personnel over time. I'm looking at my REM number. Obviously, you can change your selections in these workbooks to display whatever you want. And I'm looking at my leave profile as well. So at the moment, I'm planning for, everyone's planning to take leave around the December-January period for the most part. But I may also want to look at moving that, and I'll show you how you can simulate that too. I guess, yeah, and the last part is I've got some key assumptions which are driving my modeling. So when I was putting together the budget, I was planning on, you know, giving people bonuses and increasing the salary as I may do year on year. Now, because of the COVID-19 scenario in the situation, I may look at dropping those. So just by changing my high-level assumptions, I can look at what impact that has had, and I can see that, you know, obviously my curves moved down here, and I've managed to drop the costs quite considerably. Travel allowance, maybe I can look at reducing that because nobody's traveling at the moment as well. I might just cut that all out together. And again, I can see, you know, further drops as well. So I can do a few things here. The leave profile is an interesting one because depending on what strategy I have, maybe I do want people to go on leave for a while. So if I just drill through to my assumptions, and I can see I've got a relatively standard profile around leave where it's quite heavy in the December-January month. So what I can do here is I can just flatten out the profile for those two periods, and then I can make adjustments in April or May. Maybe I want people to take you know, the majority of leave in those periods. And then as I go back to my dashboard, I can actually see the impact of that. So I can see the curves moved, and I've made some further gains as well because of my leave liability assumptions. So that kind of gives you a view of what you could do at a relatively high level. And then if I want to go down to the detail, I'll select my replan workforce button. And this actually takes me through to my planning template where I can see, you know, my different staff members broken down by cost center or region along there. I've also added that attribute to help with my decision making. So, you know, maybe some of these deferrable positions I can cut all together, and I can look at what the impact would be for that. If I did want to, I could also, I know that some places have considered, you know, working 4-day weeks or, you know, reducing FTE to 75%. So I could actually make those changes and across all the different employees and just see what the impact of that would be as well. And as I navigate back to my dashboard, I can look at that and see what that's essentially done there. Oops, I go back here. Yeah, that should have been 0.75%. Made the situation worse. All right. Okay, so I can see that that's dropped a bit as well. Obviously, there's various things I can do here too. I can simulate, you know, what would it look like if I put anyone who wants to go on unpaid leave too, because, you know, maybe they have to stay at home to look after their children or sick people. So I can actually come in here I've just added an unpaid paid leave start and then end period to my modelling, which is pretty straightforward to do. And maybe I put some people on leave for that period. If I go down here, I'll just copy that down so you can see the impact of that as well. And then when I go back to the dashboard, I can obviously see that my remuneration's increased. Obviously, if I did that for more employees, I'd see a bigger impact. The other sorts of things I could do is essentially making redundancies if I do need to as well. And I'll just make a few across the board just so we can see what that looks like too. And really build out that scenario just based on what my current thinking is, and just seeing how I can get closer to that number. So that's really what I wanted to show around personnel, just the different levers that you can pull, and the changes that you can make, just to help reduce or simulate reducing costs, just in case you need to take the next course of action.